Megalomania translates to a large, great madness by joining two Greek words, megalo and mania. The term is no longer used in the field of mental health. Instead, it is known as Narcissistic Personality Disorder. What is megalomania? It is an abnormal mental state categorized by aberrations or delusions of greatness, where one believes himself or herself to be a person of great power, with enormous wealth, fame, knowledge, and importance. It is also referred to as grandiosity. At times, they also consider themselves to have a special bonding with a deity. Such people are hungry for power, and they are very calculative. They always keep their requirements over the needs of others. How to identify megalomaniac? Some of the signs that a megalomaniac will show are self-admiration, aggression toward others, mood swings, tendencies of violence and bad temper, manipulative, highly confident, egoistic and self-centered, no empathy, wants people pinned down him, feels happy when people fear him, feeling of being a god. How to handle a megalomaniac? Never reveal true emotions to a megalomaniac, both happy and sad. Tears and smile don't move them. They are actually laughing inside when one is crying, or planning to make them laugh when one is smiling. Quarreling with them is triggered their worst, especially if they are your bosses or seniors. Keep your distance and secretly figure out the attitude you need to have towards them so no one's ego is hurt. Children showing behavior of megalomania should be handled with care. Excessive freedom and access to things water their ego, which turns them into adults with a king-sized ego. Humble them whilst you can. Show them the way to a psychiatrist. They need help. Let someone who is trained to handle such people take care of them. Some famous people in the history who were megalomaniacs. The famous German leader Adolf Hitler suffered from megalomania. The supreme leader of the Nazi Party brutally massacred people in order to rule the world. The Second World War was his doing. Russia cried tears of blood under the cruel rule of Joseph Stalin, a megalomaniac whose wrath spared none. His acts were such that it caused a famine in the nation. He physically annihilated his opponents, known as the Great Purge, or the Great Terror. Mao Zedong was also a megalomaniac whose dictatorial games, whose fanatic nature, claimed the lives of more than 6 million people. Former President of Uganda, Idi Amin, was so obsesses with power that he killed and ate his enemies. Grigory Rasputin was so shrewd that even though he was born to a peasant family in Russia, he soon rose to power by befriending the royal family. He proclaimed himself to be a priest, and even led to the fall of the Romanov dynasty. Cambodian revolutionary, and also the Prime Minister of Democratic Kampuchea, was a megalomaniac. He led the communist group Khmer Rouge. Whilst he is considered to be one of the worst criminals in the world, he has some staunch followers who still talk about his worthiness.